宇宙歴799年、帝国歴490年改め、新帝国歴1年6月22日、ラインハルト・フォン・ローエングラムは
Blah 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 blah. You know this cartoon, I know this cartoon. We can stop pretending that it's super obscure because everyone knows that it's space opera done right. Not ham-fisted one-sided kitty bitch shit like Corporate Wars. LOTGH, pretty good show if you're looking for something big, grand, and epic, with lots of characters and world building. Who's cooler, Reinhard or Yang Wenli? Who's the best? Well, it's kinda hard since there's more to their characters than being the mascots of ideologies, such as I love Fash or I hate Fash. Both of them have their conflictions and criticisms of their tribe's mainstream views. Wenli has pretty strong beliefs that humanity is not meant to be in submission of dictatorships and such because it will always create a new class of arrogance and corruption. He still has these beliefs while also still having some doubts about his own government and how unlimited democracy can be easily polluted by the power-hungry to fuck shit up out of self-interest. Reinhard's whole thing is that a strong dictatorship is good and efficient for a growing humanity, with his ideal being uncorrupt authority. Honestly, I shouldn't say that Reinhard has conflictions about his views since he's a hellbent type of guy. I should really say that Reinhard's type of loving dictatorship is more so compared than conflicted. Reinhard's idea of dictatorship is compared to the former Golden Bomb dynasty. That dynasty being founded by Rudolf von Goldenbaum, your average stern, angry, constipated, cartoony dictator that was hellbent on social Darwinism and persecution. That persecution stayed within his family, and it left angry citizens to create their own government in rebellion against the dictator grasp. The comparison is pretty much showcased as the Golden Bomb's evil dictatorship versus Reinhard's good dictatorship, by having Reinhard eventually fighting the Golden Bomb dynasty in the Civil War episodes. He's more concerned about his government removing forms of corruption than the royalty status of his future descendants.
決闘による王朝などという存在自体がおぞましい。権力は一代限りのもので、それは譲られるべきものではない、奪われるべきものなのだ。
すると最小閣下はご自分の地位や権力をお子様にお継がせにならないのですか？
子供？私の子供か。私の後を継ぐのは私と同じか、それ以上の。
Like Wenli said, Reinhard's government is not by the people, but for the people. Comparisons, comparisons, comparisons. You could even have comparisons with Reinhard in terms of personality. He might come across as cold, calculating, but then there's Paul von Oberstein, a literal fucking autist that sees people merely as statistics. Yang Wenli and Reinhard are two men from two different worlds, but with similar plot points. Their rise in rank stood side by side, they both dealt with civil wars at the same time, and became celebrities within their societies. Despite major differences, there's like a yin-yang type of thing with these two. His name's fucking Yang. Easily the best scene in the entire show is when Yang, Wenli, and Reinhard finally met. It's rewarding and actually really cool just seeing them talk from all that build-up. And yeah, this was the only time they actually talked together face to face. It's a bit unfortunate until you realize that that's what makes this scene so significant. Two different guys from two different worlds, but with similar achievements, just talking to each other in a very formal manner. It's kinda cool, despite their differences. Wenli seems reluctant that every single government in the universe needs to be the exact same. He's not exactly hell-bent on liberation of Reinhard's government, but he surely doesn't want Reinhard's government taking an imperialist jab at his own side. People are different, and their upbringings and environments crave different forms of society and governments. Men who want to shape the entire universe as their oyster are greedy, and that humanity should accept that other people from other worlds are going to act different, and blah blah blah. As long as they stay in their own society, they should pick what fucking cake they eat, blah 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 blah.
Patty cake, yummy!
Reinhard is obviously imperialistic, but not in the way of pillaging and skimming, more in the way of obtaining its government's power to give humanity a strong, efficient government that benefits the people. It's honestly debatable if Reinhard's a bit of a globalist, which is totally not true. He's a universalist. So, golly gee, it kind of boils down to, would you rather have everyone be united in a sense, or everyone be with the government they are more comfortable with? I don't know, the idea of a universal government just sounds like, well, that's going to take millions of lives in war over liberation or imperialism. It just... In terms of story, I think Reinhard's story is a bit more interesting. Yang Wenli is just a guy getting a promotion, whereas Reinhard is a guy getting the whole fucking universe. Reinhard has a stronger origin story, and so on. However, I find Yang Wenli to be far more likable than Reinhard. He's just a naturally likable character. He's not full of himself, and he's generally easygoing. Reinhard's a well-meaning man, but I would rather hang out with Wenli. If I had to say your excellency for a billion fucking times, I'd go insane. Wenli's easygoing nature showcases that he's not trying to one-up you or be overly assertive every time someone tries to talk to him, but he still has enough pride in himself that he shit-talks those trying to provoke him. I don't know, I guess the blonde brat to me always came off as smug or just trying to be above you in every sense. I feel like he has too much pride in himself, and pride's a good thing to have, but it kind of blinds him in a way at the cost of others. He literally makes Julian fight to death with his soldier pawns just for a conversation, which was wasting lives and resources on both sides over a truce he was pretty open about in the first place. Gee, Lois, this was like that time when Imperial Chief of High Office Command Oscar von Faggot basically started a civil war with Reinhard and wasted the lives of soldiers and tax dollars, literally over his own pride. I know this isn't Reinhard's fault, but it's that type of mentality of thinking that soldiers, taxpayers, and the galaxy as a whole are just pawns of your pride that strays within some of these higher ups in the Imperial side. I also remember the episode where Reinhard had a newfounded guilt for not doing anything to prevent the Westerland massacre. Reinhard's failure to save these people at the expense of military politics could be debated in a discussion of ethics, morality, and strategy. What I really didn't like about Reinhard's newfound guilt was that the first thing that he did was went out to go get laid.
Who else but
ラインハルト・フォン・ローエングラムは
Yeah, I'm going to repeat myself and say Wenli is just more likable as a protagonist. Did I call him the protagonist? Well, golly gee, Reinhard's also the protagonist. They are both the Galactic Heroes and both are portrayed as good guys. Reinhard gets the intro and Yang and the gang gets the credits. What's the purpose of having a protagonist on two different sides? What kind of bullshit is that? Is this show trying to say that there's no correct answers in reality? That's kind of a dumb theory. Maybe there's something deeper. Maybe it's trying to make a point on how cynical men like Yang Wenli are created and how ambitious men like Reinhard are created. Is it the eternal spiral of degenerate society with no pride clogged with sleazy materialistic lifestyles to the point where society cannot function because society is a chaotic mess? A charismatic guy or group reforms society, gives people pride, then gets a big fetish for utopianistic materialism with a big slick iron fist? The role of persecution plays into society now. Group of people say fuck you and rebel against society to create their own society out of spite. Then that spite turns into solely self-interest with no respect for those around you or your community that degenerates to the mess in the first fucking place. Then the spiral continues and continues for in an eternity. Is that what it fucking is? The reformers turn into tyrants, the liberators turn into businessmen, with apathetic men taking advantage of it all with the gullibility of LARPing losers fetishizing ancient shit. Newton's cradle goes one way to the other way without ever calming down with communication, so it's just bawling, bitching, bruising, and eventually brawling, creating tired and jaded men like Yang Wenli and ambitious men like Reinhard to end this whole fucking thing. And yeah, this is sounding like a bunch of centrist bullshit. That's probably right, because this cartoon's fucking stupid. Honestly, if you're watching this gay fucking political nerd shit instead of getting fucking pussy, you need to just fucking kill yourself. The animation sucks. You know, this cartoon doesn't even have a fucking English dub. It's so fucking boring and gay and it's pretentious. I just fucking hate this cartoon. What's this fucking gay bullshit telling me that both sides have points? Like, you know, why can't it be like my fucking Marvel movies where it's like the bad guys are like ugly and dumb and like my self-insert is like, you know, cool and like good looking and like Mickey Mouse and Jesus are on my fucking side? Like, fuck this gay fucking nerd shit, honestly. Ooh, so fucking deep, woo. Guess what? Legends of the Galactic Heroes is a bitch show. It's for fucking losers, okay? So you know what? You know, you might say, you know, Synth messed up some plot points while talking about this. So fucking what? You know what? I'm gonna get some pussy right now while you fucking care about this dumb bitch show. So, later.